What up? What up? We got the OG crew here for what could be the last conference finals game. If Dallas go ahead and closes it out, so we shall see. But let's go around the horn. We got everybody in attendance. Dutch, nice to see you. How's the NBA been treating you?
The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. Good to see you too as well. Skee and the fellas. Bobano, Wham, motherfucking Bam. All the real ones in the chat. Nets Bets, Gold Jew, Eddie Cash. I see you, my guys. I see you. Yeah, man. NBA. Actually, first of all, you see the vibes, right? You see the vibes. I even had to break out the old school dusty ass hat just to get the all black. You know what I'm saying? It's a funeral. You know, these motherfuckers. It's going away tonight. Yes, yes. And we're going to talk about it in a little more into detail, but you see, it's all black for a motherfucking reason, god damn it. Boy, the Indiana Pacers. And they might be the best thing going for 44 motherfucking minutes. 44, though. Unfortunately, it's 48 in this thing we do called the association, god damn it. And wow. I mean, Indiana, we talked about a little bit before the show. I mean, Indiana, they could be up. They should be 2 in the series. It could even be 3. Hey, but these motherfuckers is at home. Is at home. Boston Celtics, easiest road to the finals in a long, long time, I could say. But shout out to them for doing what they did and handling business at the end of the day. No over last night. Got on the over train, rode that bitch till the wheels fell off, I guess, because they fell off last night, unfortunately. But shout out to you guys, mainly, got me on that, kept me off the unders in the Mavericks and Timberwolves, outside of game 1, and and got some good money with these overs in the Indiana Boston series. But outside of that, man, it's been kind of up and down. I'm looking forward to tonight, though. Got the night off, can just enjoy Luka and Kyrie, especially in that fourth motherfucking quarter. Yeah, man.
It's gonna be hopefully another good thing to witness. It should be. Babano, what are your thoughts about what you've seen? How's NBA been treating you?
Yeah, so basically, if Dallas wraps it up tonight, on this show, we'll see in 6 months, or at least it's gonna feel that way. This is absolutely absurd that the NBA has already announced that even if Dallas sweeps Minnesota and finishes it off in 4 tonight, that we're waiting until June 6th, next Thursday, for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. That's absolutely absurd. Don't you give me this nonsense that you don't have a contingency plan or you could have formulated some kind of backup plan to get this thing started earlier. Not every building in America is occupied every night, at this time of year. You could have done something to make sure that finals gets going earlier, but it's ridiculous. But it is what it is. We got to deal with it as bettors. The players got to deal with it. The coaches got to deal with it, whether it's Boston and presumably Dallas in the finals. But nevertheless, it's crazy that you'd have to wait that long. But it's hard to envision a road back for Minnesota. I know we'll get back to that in a moment. I do want to talk about Indiana, man. These guys are going to be sick to their stomach. They could have won not 1, not 2, but 3 games in that series. Game 1, they should have won. Absolutely should have won. Game 3, you could argue they probably should have won that game as well at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And then easily Game 4 as well, because they led, for more of that game than Boston did. And again, failure to close, failure to get a stop on defense late, failure to block out, failure to protect the basketball. Turnovers killed them. Some of these late games as well. But credit to Boston. Clutch end game execution was there. And that's all they needed to be able to win those games. So Boston off to the NBA Finals. A pretty easy path for them. But I think if they face presumably Dallas, they're going to be tested in a big way.
I agree with that. Wham Bam, how you feeling today? Good to have you in here. How's NBA been treating you?
Man, NBA has been a hell of a drug, bro. But like my boy say, you looking at the goddamn plugs. We've been kicking ass on this damn show, man. Shout out to us. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's been doing up with us as well. Shout out to my boy Skee, Babano, Dutch. Individually, y'all been crushing it. And yeah, man, we've been sticking to the props. Props been doing good for us, so we've been doing good there. And we ain't gonna go away from that. Yeah, man, that sucks. We gotta wait all the way to next Thursday to get another damn game if this is the last one. And I'm wearing all black too, Dutch. It was just a coordination. Looked like Skee got black too. It looked like a coordination to me. We didn't set this up, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know that. And then yeah, man, it's Scott Foster tonight. We're gonna talk about that. And is it executioner style? It looks like we dressed for the occasion. Let's just get right to it then, bro.
Yeah, let's get to it. One game should be quick and easy for today, and that is Wolves Mavericks. Mavs open -3 is going the other way. 1.5 is what we're looking at now, and the total up about a point and a half, maybe even 2 points at some shops. Injury report. I didn't see this earlier. Maybe this is new, but I see Conley on here now. I don't know if I just overlooked it, but Conley on there, game time decision. We know Lively's out. He got added.
He just got added. It looks like it was 15 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago, something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's
4 p. So I think that's Eastern time.
They say there's a little bit of aggravated pain in his right soleus strain, is what they're saying. So
I thought
it's definitely an Achilles lower body type of injury for Conley, and apparently it's feeling a little worse today than it did yesterday. So that's where now he's been added to the questionable part of the injury report. Yeah, the Achilles. It's the right soleus strain part of the Achilles. Apparently it's a little more tender today compared to yesterday. So now, and that is the Achilles, it's tough. It can limit mobility if you got an issue with it. So that's something to monitor now tonight for Minnesota going into this game.
Yeah, go for it, Urbano. Do you think, if Conley doesn't play, does Minnesota have enough to get it done? And do you think he plays?
I don't know if they'd have enough to get it done, even if he does play, quite honestly, at this point in time. Although if he doesn't play, you're talking about leadership, a veteran presence who's been through the wars of an elimination game before many a time. So someone that absolutely can help you, in a game like this. But, at the same point in time, what have we said about Minnesota in this series? We've just absolutely raved about how incredible some of the best defense I've seen a team have to start the playoffs, facing Phoenix in the first round and even in the first part of the Denver series as well. Defense is a shell of what it once was. I mean, Dallas seems to be doing whatever they want, and the scary part for Minnesota is Dallas in the first two games in Minnesota, which they both won, were Luka, Kyrie carrying the load type of games. They didn't get great shooting nights from Washington and, the other support, Gafford and Lively and Jones, and go on down the list. Then all of a sudden they start bombing away and making shots in game 3. Now with the scene back to Dallas, because as we've often said, a lot of the times the supporting cast shoots better, plays better at home. And you factor that now that they've got to deal with on top of what Luka and Kyrie can deliver, in a situation where a close game late, they can make those clutch shots. They can make those clinch a game shots that the Minnesota Timberwolves right now are lacking. So I'm not sure whether Conley's presence even makes a difference, if it matters a damn, at this point in time for Minnesota. So, I think if you're going to take Minnesota, your preference would be first quarter, first half, a lean toward that direction. I certainly went that way in game 3, even though they were down 2-0. And for the first time in this series, they didn't have a good start. That was the one thing in game 1 and game 2 Minnesota did, was they got off to a fast start. They were the better team in the first half, but for the change, Dallas decided, we can't start slow every single game, and they didn't. They had a good first half, Dallas. So, and Dallas with the mindset of, and Charles Barkley, I know, was hinting at it when he was talking to Daniel Gafford after game 3, like, I don't want to take a trip back here. You guys have that mindset, don't make an unnecessary trip to Minnesota for game 5. You got a chance to close it out, finish it off tonight. Don't screw around, don't take it to chance. So, I think with Dallas's veterans on this group, they've got that mindset. And I just don't know mentally, guys, what's left right now for Minnesota. They look like a beaten group. I'm hearing Karl Anthony Towns in his post game the other night. He's forgotten how to take the ball to the basket. He's forgotten the paint area even fucking exists. He thinks he's a second coming of Steph Curry or Ray Allen. It's completely absurd without any sort of shooting numbers to back it up, that he's taken all these threes. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm seeing him in the game, it's going to come and smiling, and, we just keep working on it and making out, spitting out that fucking bull junk about him shooting 1,500 shots in practice to try to, improve at the 3-point line.
We don't give a fuck, my boy.
I've ever heard. Wham. You're not doing that on a playoff game day. Are you kidding me? 1,500 shots. Get the fuck out of here. You're not doing that shit. And the TNT crew, rightfully so, called him out on that. it was absurd that he even said something like that. So I just see I'm starting to see a little, certainly from Cat, a little immaturity starting to come out. That's not what I want to see out of one of my best players in a game 4 must-win situation. I'm going to be simple here. No first quarter, no first half. Maybe Minnesota, you get an effort from them early, but when it comes hell or high water, Dallas has been the team executing late. Dallas has the big shot makers late in the game. For me, it's Dallas money line, and for me, it's the over. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe tonight's the night, kind of like game 4 with Boston, Indiana. There were 3 overs, and finally in game 4, we saw an under. Could that happen tonight? Yeah, maybe, but I'll take my chances it doesn't, because I don't see Minnesota's defense having any answers for what Dallas continues to do. So, and especially if Dallas's supporting cast is going to contribute offensively and shoot well like they did in game 3 back on the home court. So Dallas and over for me.
All right. Dutch, I want to come to you next on this one. Luka has looked pretty fucking stoppable. I'll say that. Minnesota, it seems like they've tried everything on defense and nothing is working. So is there anything else, any adjustments they have left, or is it game over tonight?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy JPZ. I see my guy Nets Bets in the building. Nucky Green. Got a lot of real ones holding us down. Con Clips. Rick White. Be sure to hit that motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane. A first class funk. Get you right where you need to be. Believe that. This series has been a beautiful thing. 3-0. Luka the motherfucking Don and the boys. Kyrie Irving getting motherfucking nasty on these boys. That's what Ant gets, man. That young ass mouth, man. One talented motherfucker, but goddamn it, don't know when to keep his mouth shut. And I do see some immaturity, not only from, we've seen it throughout the years with Cat, but throughout the team. I mean, I like how Ant got that, like, I don't give a fuck attitude, but you down 3-0, bro. And you finally had a good game. But like, if this is Kobe, if this is MJ, they ain't in there happy face. This motherfucker smiley face too damn much being down 3-0. I mean, what's funny? I don't know what's funny that you getting your ass whooped. I mean, I really don't get it. But I like to see it. I like to see the smart ass comments. Even me. I mean, it's kind of contagious. McDaniel, all these motherfuckers just say dumb shit now. They're like, oh, our best player gets away with it. Let me do it. Like, you down 3-0, bro. Like, oh, we still think we're the better team. Oh, man, okay.
How about someone getting a little pissed off, Dutch, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Is.
Say that shit behind closed doors. But I mean, going out and saying that shit, you ain't doing nothing but pissing off 2 of the best things going. I mean, the stars will shine in Dallas, and they don't get no bigger than motherfucking Luka the Don and Kyrie Irving. And when it comes down to it, I mean, when it's money time, when it's the 4th motherfucking quarter, we won't see what we see last night. Indiana freeze, everyone frozen. I mean, goddamn, Boston finally gets it done. But you see motherfuckers freeze in the biggest moments, and you see the exact opposite in this series. You see what happens when it's money time. Luka say, okay, it's that time. When we see anything bigger than game 2, I mean, goddamn, Rudy Gobert, you still shaking. You still in the blender from that motherfucker. It don't get much better than that. And then, of course, Kyrie continues to just make us say, wow, replay the fucking, rewind the shit, goddamn it. I want to see that one more time. That's how good Kyrie doing them. I mean, and it's just like, what's really gonna stop it? So now we could talk about Lively being out. He only played 9 minutes in game 1. It was a pretty impressive 9 minutes. Fortunately, will not be playing tonight. Skee's guy, Maxi Kleber is back tonight, though. So, hey, should be spreading the court, keep Rudy out of the paint. Rudy's having one hell of a series anyway, so probably won't get much better with this motherfucker out there stroking it from deep. So, look for the role players to continue. Let's talk about it a little bit when it comes to the numbers, the X's and O's a little bit, right? Dallas didn't even really play that good, honestly. They shot the ball, obviously, really well from three-point line. And if Kyrie and Luka are going to combine from 22 or 40 from the field and get you 66 points, I mean, forget about it. It's a wrap. And I do believe it is. But I mean, they only had 19 assists compared to 26 from Minnesota, 14 turnovers. They turned the ball over more, had less assists, got out rebounded by Minnesota in this game, and still clearly outside of the third quarter, it was no question who the better team was and who was going to win the game. Third quarter was a little bit, Minnesota made a little bit of a run. Fourth quarter, it went right back to the same damn thing we've seen in the first and second quarter. So Dallas, money line. I like the minus 120, 1.5. We've seen the 1 point game already. We've seen Luka get it done. Is it close? Do they fight? Maybe. But I don't believe that we're going to go back to Minnesota for game 5. Give me the Dallas Mavericks, money line, minus 120. It's good money.
Sounding pretty confident. And I don't blame you. I think Dallas can definitely get it done tonight. Wham bam. Last but not least, how you feeling about Wolves and Mavericks?
Yeah, I'm kind of going to reiterate pretty much the same sentiment that we're wearing all black for a reason. I think Scott Foster is the executioner. Like you said, Babano, as far as Cat play, I think that's kind of why Anthony Edwards smiling, man. He knows this guy's probably not going to be here no longer. He's pretty much terrible. The only time he goes and goes to the hole is when Daniel Gafford wants to be Mutombo and blocks him like that. Like, bro, you get mismatches all the time. You want to shoot over the mismatch and you want to drive Daniel Gafford, the only guy that's their rim protector. Like, it's just stupid shit all the time with Cat. Obviously, he was 0 for 6. He kept shooting down the stretch. Bro, you're not a shooter right now. You're 0 for 6. It's the crunch time. We don't need you shooting threes. Why do you continue to shoot? I'm not going to say it's coaching there, but it is what it is there. So Jaden McDaniels is going to continue to hoop. I think he's going to go over his points. I'm going to go back to Nas Reed, though. It's obvious there. Over 11.5 is what you want to pay. Juice if you want. I took the 12.5 points with Nas Reed. He got the 15 points last time, and I think even before that, 23 points, 15 points. So he got it over in each of these games there over the 12.5 points. So we're gonna go with the Nas Reed. I think this could be a blowout situation too for the Dallas Mavericks. I think, I don't necessarily want to say you pick your poisons with whoever, but if Luka is a little bit hampered, I think he is a little questionable. I think he's obviously gonna play, but I think you got to go right back to the well with Kyrie. Kyrie's gonna continue to cook these guys. They dropped the stat here for Kyrie on closeout games, 14-0 or some crazy shit like that. I think Kyrie is just going to continue to go off. So over 23.5 points with Kyrie as well. But the best bet for me is going to be Nas Reed. We're going right back to the well with Nas Reed, man. It's just going to be that simple. Mavs all the way, though. And the reason why I'm not so jumping to get in on the Mavs is because we already took the Mavs to win the West. That's plus 600 cash in once they win this game. So it's going to just be that simple there.
Yeah, I love having that in my pocket too. Plus 650 right there, just chilling. No teams ever come back, so I'll have a little smile on my face. I'll get excited. Get excited early. I think I agree with everybody as far as the Mavericks, and we didn't do too much talking about the total besides Babano. I think, like I said, the strength of the T-Wolves all year has been their defense, and their defense has nothing for Luka and Kyrie. So their only chance in this game is to outscore the Mavericks, in my opinion. So obviously, I like it over. Anything else anybody want to say before we move it on over to best bets?
Just to add into that Tyrese Halliburton stuff, obviously we talked about it before, but once we knew that he was going to have to hit that 65 games and he wanted that extra 80 million at all NBA, and all of a sudden he don't play, he dressed up like AD now. Now he on their street clothes. Tyrese got 80 fucking million in his pocket, man. We told y'all about that shit. So I don't want to come in here to say I told y'all so, but I'm over here talking to my my uncles. They're like, God damn, that's the reason why he's not playing. I'm like, yeah. He getting the extra 80 million this summer, man. So the only reason why Tyrese Halliburton and them, they will be back. I think that'd be good there, but terrible way to lose out like that.
All right. Let's slide it on over. Quick and easy. Less than 20 minutes. I'm gonna pass it right back to you, Wham Bam. You know we always come to you first. Let the people know what's the best way to get paid.
I just handed to it, and then we're gonna keep it consistent. It's gonna be Nas Reed, man. Nas Reed. Get over the 12.5 points. It's plus money, plus 100 on FanDuel. I got to add minus 110. That's the one I got. So plus 100 for the show right now. 12.5 Nas Reed.
Babano, you next up. I have a feeling you're going with you gonna be the one to go with the total?
Yeah, that's the question, because this is the tough decision, because I've got the same amount on both the side and the total tonight. I don't really have a strong preference for either one, but actually, if I had to choose, I think it's over. I'm going to go with the side. I'm going to go Dallas minus 120. Like I say, I think if Minnesota puts up a fight, it'll be early. I don't hate the look that anyone might have for Timberwolves first quarter, first half, but I just think over the course of 48 minutes, Dallas will, if they're behind, they'll creep back into the game. If Dallas is ahead, Minnesota might make it interesting like they did in game 3, but they won't have enough, and Dallas will execute late in the game like they've done all series. So either way, I think it's over tonight. Dallas wraps it up, especially when they see Boston end it last night. Boston's getting a lot of rest. They're going to want some rest too, especially with Luka that's been playing at a little bit less than 100% most of the playoffs. So Dallas minus 120, money line for me for best bet.
Good stuff. I will go next, and I guess I'll be the one to change it up a little bit here and go with the total. I'll go up and over. I just, Minnesota's defense has no answer, and I believe that their adjustment is going to be offensively. So love to see Mike Conley out there, but regardless, I think this one gets up and over once again. Currently at 211. Dutch. Last but not least over here, we'll go to you and let the people know what the freshest look of the day is and take us home.
Yeah, man. You see the vibes, bro. We in all black. Wolves die tonight. Game 4 is sweepers, man. It's sweepers in Dallas. Look at the motherfucking Don. Kyrie Irving. We hitting the lick, man. Minus 120. God damn, that's good money. Believe it. All the real ones in the chat holding us down. We appreciate you. It's been a beautiful beautiful season with the crew. We'll see you June 6th, I believe was the day Bobano was ranting about. Cashville Recon, Joshua, all the real ones. Rico, Nucky Green. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.